The question of the week, which what did you have us for us last
Well,
week?
let's introduce Aniria to the question. So each week we give a question of the week for the show, and if listeners want to leave comments to the answers, or even they could leave a voicemail, and for us as well, we could play it on the show. And matter of fact, for next week's question, we're going to give you next week's question, and if you want to call in, leave a voicemail for us, we'll play it on the show as well.
All right, I like that.
This week's question of the week was, which 4 comics would you like to see in a lineup together, living or dead?
Oh, God.
So me and Pat have made a list. We'll go first.
Yes.
And leave you a couple minutes.
Gives me time to think.
Yeah. So did you want to go first, Pat?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Pat, this is yours. These are yours.
This is one of these hit me actually yesterday. I had 3, and then I said, "Oh, I got one." This is it's a crazy little lineup, but I kind of thought long and hard about this. I would like to, since it's either dead or alive, 4 comedians you want to see do a show together. Charlie Chaplin.
All right.
Wow.
Groucho Marx.
Oh man.
Paul Mooney, and then Mitch Hedberg.
Wow, on the same show?
Yes. And my reasoning is I would love to have them go in order, like Chaplin and then Groucho follow Chaplin. I want to see Paul Mooney riff if I had a choice. I want to have
riff
him
on the whitest guys.
I want to hear him.
And then Paul Mooney.
What would he say? What would Paul Mooney say about Charlie Chaplin and Groucho Marx? And then do his own stuff, which was, of course, amazing. And then just to have Hedberg come up and do his witty one-liners and just be Mitch Hedberg.
That's
but
hilarious.
that would be I just want to see what would Chaplin do outside of silent movies.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously he was a comedian. He's comedy.
Yeah.
But I saw in that one, was it Robert who did the show, the Chaplin movie? Robert Downey.
Yeah, Downey Jr.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh my God! And just the struggles he had and the stuff like that was amazing. But I would love to see that Chaplin, Groucho Marx, which it's just Groucho Marx. Always cracked me up. And then Paul Mooney, and then the late great Mitch Hedberg. Well, I guess they're all late greats.
Okay, so this question was really tough because it's like I immediately could make a dozen lists.
Sure.
I know.
So it's, like,
it's hard.
So instead I did 2 lists. I couldn't just do one.
Okay.
Because that's not fair. So the one list is Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Robert Schimmel,
Nice.
and Sam Kinison.
Wow.
For that one, okay. So for those a little less fearful, this one's for you. But it's still a great list. You're still going to get the best. Norm Macdonald. Brian Regan. Godfrey.
Yes.
Oh, I love Godfrey.
Don Rickles.
Whoa.
Get Out.
Yes.
That's it. That's a great fucking show.
That is. I just want to give a shout out to Godfrey because
Godfrey's awesome.
is he like a prodigy or something? Because somebody told me that he never does the same show.
I've worked
like
with
back to
Godfrey a couple times. He's cool. I've worked with him. I remember the first time he came through. It's like I hadn't met him before, and I picked him up at the airport. He is one of the funniest people. I swear to God, he is so
funny.
underrated. He should be way more famous. I'm gonna tell you right now, he should be huge.
Dude, you watch a show of his and you don't the laughter doesn't stop. It's constant.
And he does do it. His show never stays the same twice.
No.
Even if he uses similar materials, because he goes off of the audience a lot. He does a lot of crowd work type stuff. But the thing is, it's like he just mines the audience for a topic, but he's got so much knowledge. The guy is so knowledgeable.
Wow.
That it's like he's able to convey something funny, regardless of what it is, because he has an opinion.
Yeah.
He knows what he thinks about things, and he knows how to convert that into comedy right away. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Godfrey before, go see him live. You can catch it. He's got his own podcast, and Godfrey We Trust.
I just saw Regan in April when he came here to St. Pete. A friend of mine took me out there. It was my birthday month, April, so that was really cool to see him.
Nice.
At Half Capacity Theater. I forgot the opening act. He was funny, but Brian, it was great. I love it because he comes out and he goes, "Hey, haven't been doing this in a while now because of the pandemic." He goes, "Probably going to hear some stuff I already did. Going to do some new stuff." And he just goes, "We'll see how it goes." And a couple of jokes, they didn't hit. Like, it was just him, but people were laughing nicely because it's Brian Regan.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, we'll do that one. Let's go back to the stuff you know now." And he'll go back to a couple of old ones, and then he'll work on something else. Godfrey, my quick Godfrey story, I'm pretty sure it was him. I think it was him. This was like 2006 when I was at 98 Rock, and they flew me out to L.A. to do the Nacho Libre junket, the movie junket, with Jack Black.
I love that movie.
It was awesome.
Oh.
So we got to interview the cast the next day. So Jack Black, the lovely lady who played the nun in the movie. And some friends of mine gave me a couple of questions in Spanish, like not really totally sexual, but like just crazy, And she was so breathtaking.
She's beautiful.
Because I'm sitting as close as I am almost to just a table between us. And she's just looking at me, and I'm just...
with those big eyes.
Those brown eyes and the hair. Oh, my God. But I went out that night, and I said, I got some sushi at a place called the Blowfish, which is no longer apparently open over there. It was a great sushi. And I had a cab, and I said, take me to the closest comedy club. And I believe it was the Comedy Store. Yeah. And it was Godfrey hosting.
Oh, wow.
And it was Jeff Ross... and a few other big comics. I want to say Jeff Cesario or something Cesario back in the day. He had a couple of comedy half-hour specials. Yeah. But I went up to Jeff Ross afterwards and I said, "Hey, Pat Largo, I'm just in for radio, just doing something." I said, "One less, I've seen your roast and everything on TV." And he's sitting by himself. I'm like, "Do I be one of those guys? Should I approach?" And he goes, "Oh, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that." But it was just so cool. So I'm like, Jeff Ross was cool. I think I said hi to Godfrey. But he was hosting the night. Yeah, that's how and everything was just going on. So the excitement there was crazy. You're right, though. Hilarious.
My list.
Give it to us.
Okay. It's a little bizarre, but I would have Anthony Jeselnik.
Nice. Okay.
I love him. Love his just no fear.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Wright. Right,
I've got one of his.
I almost switched it for Mitch Hedberg because I love that style.
I still got him on vinyl.
Do you really?
Forget Steve Wright.
I saw him live in Lubbock, Texas, y'all.
Oh wow!
I never laughed so hard. I don't know if he was actually that funny or I was just living in the hick town so long that everything was funny to me.
Yeah.
And then my last person would be Mark Vieira. He's a Puerto Rican comic out of New York. He's so funny.
Like the kings of comedy or New York comedy, something like that. They got like a crew up there that he rolls with. Yeah,
he's so funny to me. And speaking of gracious people, he's like Godfrey. I don't know that he would help with open mic. He probably would. But I remember he was at the Tampa Improv. I don't remember who the hostess. It was either Mike Morris, which I haven't heard about him in a while.
He's been laying low, yeah.
Yeah. And I know it was Mike Morris, Rio was there, and I was just there watching the show. But after the show, he sat and talked to us for more than an hour about the business.
That's cool.
And, giving us warning. One of the things I remember the most was, if your material or your act isn't fire, like a lightning bolt hitting every so many seconds, don't do a special. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Comedians Uncorked.
Hey, it's Pat Largo with the Comedians Uncorked podcast. For this and much more, check out our YouTube channel and please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.